Hello, my watchers. Today I'm going to be reading, well, I guess rereading because I didn't actually get the full experience last time. Plus, my reading skills have vastly improved since I last did a video on this, and I just deleted the old one because it sucked. But I'm going to be reading SCP-5999 again. I haven't read this since apparently October of 2021, and I don't remember shit from it. So, I mean, I know the ending and I know what happens at the end, but other than that, I don't remember anything. So let's just get into this. Do not access. Oh, I'm accessing it, motherfucker. The above is instrumental to proper containment. Proceed. Item number null. Contained. The Department of Analytics has been tasked with an annual procurement of 7 civilians to witness Project Procedure Sevenfold. They are to be promptly delivered to the Albright Manor on October 30th. Their biological profiles are to be submitted to the medical department no less than 3 weeks beforehand for analysis. Each contained witness witness. The chains are Each witness is sedated such that they awaken at approximately midnight on October 31st. Procedure Sevenfold typically runs its course before sunrise. All entrances to the Albright Manor have been sealed, barred, and boarded up. The sole exception is the underground shaft used to deposit each witness. It is concealed within the house's cellar. The chains remain taut. That doesn't This doesn't have any context with the rest of the sentence, but there's a reason for that, and I'll explain at the end. After I die, I guess. The Elbright Manor has been fitted throughout with surveillance devices for personnel to witness Procedure Sevenfold through to completion. A command post situated off-site shall be staffed with no more than one containment specialist. Oh boy, I need to stop that. I don't want to blow your guys' ears out. Oh well. And 2 Class D personnel. They are to be given false containment procedures. The containment specialist will relay the events within the manor as they transpire, and may be supplanted by a Class D if the need arises. Per Ethics Committee mandate, personnel who survive the night are to be terminated via the introduction of sarin compounds into the outpost. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, yeah, oh, that's serious. On October 1st, a cleanup crew will be dispatched to remove the remains of every witness, if indeed it is possible. If difficulties are experienced during retrieval, all bodies are to be considered the possession of the Albright Manor. They will be integrated into future events. Successfully retrieved corpses are to be incinerated in the crematorium behind the property. Noise-canceling headphones will be provided to personnel manning the incinerator. For the remainder of the year, personnel are to remain wary of any surfaces which contain the phrase, "This is where I died." Special containment procedures produced by S. Andrew Swan. Now that's interesting. This is interesting. Because Andrew Swan, his 001 proposal is that the SCP Foundation is aware that they're a fictional thing, and that they're trying to kill the people that are in charge, that are like reading them. Very interesting stuff. That do not proceed. I'm a proceed, bitch. I'm a proceed. Oh boy, candles out. Oh no, there's 6 candles left. Spoopy. Description. Okay, go up. Jesus. The scattered remains of a Miss Jacqueline Holcroft are affected by several separate anomalies. The effects began at an unspecified time after her assault and murder at the hands of 6 unknown assailants on the 6th of June 2006. 666? I see you, and persist through to this day. Oh no, even not even that. 6666. That's a cool detail. That's a nice detail. I like that. First-hand accounts of those affected by these anomalies suggest that neutralization of the effects would occur should each part of Miss Holcroft be collected and laid to rest. Persons in the vicinity of any part of Miss Holcroft's remains, or who are privy to the nature of the crime leading to her death, I don't like that, may become subject to its effects. This entails visual hallucinate. I don't like how that's in this different font style. That's a bit sus. Subjects uniformly report seeing a nude, disheveled. I'm good. I don't need to hallucinate. With deep lacerations along her extremities. These wounds are consistent with those suffered by Miss Holcroft upon her dismember. Okay, we're going right there. Great. This video is, if I had monetization, I'd be fucking ruined. Most often the figure appears to be in one's Who? You know, I was gonna turn off the light for this, but nah. I was gonna be in the complete darkness except for my computer screen. After hearing that, fuck nah. It disappears when attempts to look more closely. Yeah, that's very cliche, but it's effective. It's giving me the queeps. Oh no, auditory halluc. Oh, fuck that. I've actually had both of these in the past. In fact, it was a combination of the two. It was a combination of visual and auditory that I used to have as a kid, and it was fucking horrible. These consist primarily of unintelligible whispers and moans. On rare occasions, subjects can discern pleading and begging. In these cases, subjects are typically nah. Whew. That's like straight up schizo stuff. Like I've talked to my friend who has that stuff, and they say that's exactly what happens. Like they hear voices calling for them by name. 6 subjects have reported hearing an unfamiliar song sung to the tune of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Unfamiliar. Olfactory hallucinations. Namely this, how would you know what that smells like? How would anyone know what that smells like? I don't know what that affectation by Miss Holcroft's remains persist until the subject's death. Typically, this is expedited via the development of secondary effects that manifest upon the biannual anniversary, 6 months, of the subject's exposure. Secondary effects include, but are not limited to. I swear, I must have had the exact reaction to this when I read it the first time, where I was like genuinely kind of getting uncomfy. The discovery of body parts and organs. Fingers, eyes, teeth, and hair will be found at random near the subject. They are usually found near about opening a drawer, lifting a toilet seat, and in other concealed location, such as under the in there. Okay. No, thank you. Oh no. The insertion of a filthy nude woman into all media depicting the subject. Depicting the subject? Oh no. So, like, pictures of like, the person, often obscured or in the distance. Analysis of clear depictions has revealed that said woman is in actuality the reassembled amalgamation of her remains. Besides the wounds reflecting her dismemberment, there is a single large vertical. I'm not reading that. I'm damn nah. An irrational fear that the chains are weakening. That's a warning. That is a warning if I've ever seen one. Sleep paralysis. I've had this before. I've had sleep paralysis before. It's not fun. During such sessions, subjects have reported the presence of multiple shadowy figures which hold them down and do that to them. Unilaterally, before regaining full consciousness and control of their bodies, subjects claim to feel a searing pain in their gut and the removal of a vital component of their being. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm beginning to understand how she was killed now, and I don't like it. I really don't like it. This is genuinely disturbing. Update. But tracking reports of anomalous activity in civilian deaths, all 206 bones of Miss Holcroft's body have been recovered. The remains have been interred in the Holcroft family plot in Crush Glen. Upon the conclusion of funerary services, all attendants to service suffered spontaneous disembowelment. Oh, of course. That just randomly happens, I suppose. I don't know. Since this time, living subjects previously affected by Miss Holcroft's remains have reported cessation of anomalous phenomena. However, each has proven to be sterile. Oof. Furthermore, 1 in 6 subjects with living offspring have reported the disappearance of one of their Yikes. Despite our best efforts, none of these children have been recovered. It should be noted that this had no effect on Miss Holcroft's presence within the Albright Manor. So we're dealing with oh, it's 5 now. Video log. Video log now. Okay. Crush Glen, Kansas. Population approximately 3,125. Note: 5 members of the Mobile Task Force Epsilon 5 Pentacle were deployed into the town of Crush Glen, following its subsumption by a thick fog and the seeming disappearance of all its inhabitants. The following is a record of the phenomena occurring within the town. A recording by Joy Bates, E5 Echo. Surveillance, like what the hell, Surveillance, that's a mistake. Oh, is that supposed to be like a visual hallucination in the text? That's cute. That's cute. Begin log. Camera activates. E5 Echo is seated in the back seat of the task force's Humvee. Pentacle members perform a perfunctory mild check as they pull up to the perimeter of the town. After 2 minutes of idle chatter, it is decided that they should proceed via vehicle. The chains in the road break easily beneath. I see. I'm breaking chains. The Humvee's wheels. E5 Echo watches out the window as the surrounding forest gives way to a thick blanket of mist. You in Silent Hill, son. Right now. Yes, you are. Visibility drastically decreases, and E5 Bravo slows the vehicle to a crawl. After creeping for several meters through the fog, it is decided that exploration should occur on foot. E5 Bravo pulls to the side of the road. All passengers disembark. E5 Echo kills the engine and follows suit. E5 Bravo. Okay, I fucking read that wrong. Whatever. Very little can be discerned as E5 Echo looks around. A black sedan lay just north of their position. It is lying on its side, perpendicular to the road, and the roof has been torn free. That doesn't sound good. To the right sits an ivy-coated brick building behind a rusted chain-link fence. Nothing can be seen beyond the sidewalk across the street from their position. The unit draws their firearms and form a defensive like the tense swap here. Unit draws their firearms and forms would be better here, but I guess it's part of like the whole thing. Forms a defensive position beside the Humvee while E5 Charlie employs imaging hardware. E5 Bravo teases E5 Delta after the latter complains of the silence within the once bustling town of their birth. E5 Alpha admonishes the siblings and calls for professionalism. The pair acquiesce. Both thermal imaging hardware and a modified SPAD visual asset are incapable of penetrating the fog beyond what can be seen by the naked eye. That is concerning. E5 Alpha announces the decision to continue without visual aid due to the efficacy of natural sight and the needless burden of excess hardware. E5 Echo is called upon to investigate the wrecked vehicle. Her hand crosses the camera feed as she whispers a prayer. She sets off. The car can be heard to still be running as she approaches. Beneath the sound of the engine, an indiscernible country song is heard playing on the radio. Besides missing its roof, there is extensive damage to the driver's side rear, which is missing its door. There is a large amount of blood on both the dashboard and the now deflated passenger side airbag. As she closes in, the music becomes clearer. It's a Johnny Cash tune. The singing and guitar cease, and there's a bit of static as a musician quotes a Bible verse before the radio falls silent. Close inspection reveals that all seatbelts beside the tattered front passengers remain strapped in and locked, including the 4-point harness in the child's car seat situated behind the driver's chair. The rapture. E5 Echo turns to relay her findings to the rest of the team. E5 Charlie is silent. E5 Echo makes an explanation regarding his disappearance, causing alarm amongst the others. It is not noted by E5 Echo, but on the lower half of the feed there can be seen a quasi-humanoid figure crouching beneath the Humvee. It skitters swiftly and silently backward out of sight on 5 forelimbs. 5? That's a spicy detail. Eve Alpha calls for order. He rallies the team and takes point as the group travel down the street into town. The four move in step with E5 Echo guarding the rear down the side of the road. The team is guided by E5 Delta to cut through an alleyway. A low, bellowing sound trumpets from on high. That's, biblical right there. The team emerges on the next street and past several buildings. There's a barber shop whose window is shattered. It is dark inside, save for the flickering of a single light near the back of the parlor that reveals signs of struggle. Next to this, a destroyed building smokes with the last embers of a raging fire. E5 Delta and E5 Bravo reminisce over the loss of this structure, which purportedly was their favorite pizzeria growing up. E5 Echo speaks of their conversation, questioning aloud the lack of bodies. Bravo shoots back with a sarcastic response about before the trio is silenced by Alpha, who hears something. A quiet bleating can be heard somewhere in the distance. As the group progresses, a squat figure can be seen enshrouded in the mist across the street. E5 Alpha advances with his weapon at the ready. They come upon a lamb, laying in the grass in the front yard of a 2-story home. The number 5 is painted on its fleece in blue paint. The animal bleats and cries and is clearly distressed by their presence. It shakily stands as if to flee, but quickly collapses. Dried blood spots the ground about the area it lays in. E5 announces the animal. E5 Delta approaches the animal to tend to it and is mocked with feigned annoyance by her brother. She discovers that the lamb has had something small and metallic lodged in each of its hind hooves, causing it a great deal of pain and prohibiting escape. Echo pans about their surroundings with her rifle at the ready while Delta kneels next to the creature, petting and comforting it. The fog holds naught beyond an abandoned pickup truck. She asks if it might be best to euthanize the lamb. At this, in the current peripheral, it can be seen to be convulsing violently from the neck up. Delta is looking up at her squad leader as this occurs and is thus not aware of the sudden threat to her person. Echo turns with a start as Bravo shouts to his sister, who sees the beast's behavior and recoils. She falls, scooting backwards across the lawn. Elf has his weapon trained on the animal and fires. Echo raises her weapon but does not have a clear shot over the retreating Delta. Despite suffering extensive damage to its midsection and spilling its guts over the soft earth, the animal remains upright and continues to convulse and bleat and scream. Its screams quickly take on a human sound, which then devolves into vocalization made by bodies in the Albright Manor's crematorium. I don't want to know what that sounds like. This is fucking horrific. Bravo reaches down to help his twin to her feet. She screams. Bravo catches his sister as she falls back. Her feet seem locked in position. Echo lowers her weapon and rushes to Delta's side. Looking down, a pair of thick metal implements have risen through the soil, piercing both Delta's feet. Each of the foreign objects has a thick round head that would not allow them to pull her off of them. Echo hurriedly explains this as she grips around the head of one of the objects and attempts to pry it upwards and out of her teammate. Alpha continues to deliver concentrated fire into the entity that screams grow in volume. Mirrored cries can be heard in the distance from multiple sources. Bravo, cradling his sister, cries out an expletive. He tries his assault arm with a free hand and flails it about shakily at unseen foes. Alpha reloads his weapon. Echo looks up from her task. The entity is now an unrecognizable bloodied husk. It rears up, leathery wings unfurl from behind the creature. It beats its wings and begins to rise. As it does so, it can be seen that its hind legs are dug into the earth. Echo shouts out reassuringly as she doubles her efforts to free her teammate. Fuck. This is... the imagery. The imagery is really vivid, and as someone with a very good imagination, I can fucking see it. I can see it really well. And I don't like it. The metallic implements pull downwards, severing the tip of Echo's right index finger. The ground gives way as Delta is pulled ankle deep into the earth. Bravo drops his weapon and seizes his sister under the arm as she is dragged knee-deep into the ground. Echo tries to assist in pulling her free. As they struggle, the entity can be seen beating its wings furiously. It has raised itself a half-meter above ground. It's straining and pulling its grossly elongated hind legs, which remain embedded in the soil. I'm good. Delta is pulled waist deep. Bleeding can be heard from all around the team. Alpha orders the pair to abandon Delta and requests covering fire. Short, concentrated bursts are fired by the squad leader into multiple areas at shadowy figures in the fog. Delta screams and cries for help as she is pulled up to her chest, causing the pair to lose their grip around her torso. Echo draws her sidearm, aims at Delta, and shouts her intention to decommission and spare the agent. Bravo, who is now locked hand in hand with his sister, pulling with all his might, threatens Echo with her life as she pulls the trigger. Several hands become visible within the fog. Each slowly limps towards the group. Alpha again orders his subordinates to retreat as he defends them against the approaching threat. Delta is steadily pulled deeper. Her head and arms remain just above the ground. Echo requests permission to fire from Alpha. Bravo roars in defiance. There is a soft rumble as Delta is rapidly dragged underground. Losing his grip, Bravo is pulled forward and falls face first. As he screams and begins to dig at the ground, Echo turns to see the entity rise higher and higher off the ground, pulling its hind legs out of the... Okay. Its hooves, much like the beast's hind legs, are seen to be elongated. They glisten with a metallic sheen. As it rises, human feet can be seen being brought up, speared to the hooves. The nude form. Okay, of Adalta is slowly unearthed. Her body is limp. Bravo shouts a string of obscenities, retrieves his rifle, and opens fire. Beast shudders as it takes more damage. It flies on steadily, carrying Delta's body up and over the team. Its upper body becomes enshrouded in the mist. All that can be seen is Delta's corpse swaying as the beast carries it. It bleats, rocking its hooves backward before repeatedly bringing them forward. It slams Delta's body into a nearby telephone pole where she is pinned by the feet. What remains of the entity and the lambs, now surrendering the team, dissipate into the fog as the trumpets bellow again. Wow, I was right. They're in Silent Hill. They are literally in Silent Hill. Fuck. Alpha radios command to deliver a sit rep and is given orders to continue their descent into town. Echo is prepared with bandaging her finger, preoccupied with bandaging her finger. Against protest from Alpha, Bravo attempts to ascend the telephone pole that dislodges his sister's corpse. Fails in scaling the structure, and after two more attempts, heeds Alpha's orders. The trio depart. They carefully trek through the neighborhood for the next 20 minutes, guided by by Bravo's direction. The final chaotic moments of the town become more apparent as they walk onward. Multiple vehicular accidents dot the roads and lawns of the suburbs. Home and auto alarms ring out in the distance. Fog with smoke from structures fire. Fog mixes with smoke from structure fires. Weeping is heard intermittently. No source is found. It is as the remaining members of Pentacle pass a wrought iron fence that E5 Alpha reports the stench of decay. Bravo expresses concern, though it cannot be seen from their position on the sidewalk beside the fence. Bravo explains that they are passing by the town's elementary school. Alpha swears. A human outline becomes visible ahead of the team, against the fence under the shade of a tree. I don't like this. It becomes clear as they approach that there are several such figures straddled to the fence under the shade of a weeping willow, whose branches extend over the fence from the school grounds. Each figure is seen to be naked and unmoving. The trio carefully keep their distance, leaving the sidewalk and circling under the street around the figures. There are 5 in total. Their bodies can be seen to be tied by the wrists to the fence and held upright. Each is in various states of decay, and their backsides are torn and bloody with large gashes cutting across each corpse. The cause of death is speculated by Echo to be from flagellation. So they were whipped to death. That's... They are in Silent Hill. This is literally Silent Hill. What was the town of the day? What is the town name? Like, Cresh something? Something like that. I don't remember. Corpse in the center is noted to be fresher than those on either side of it, and the wounds on its back possess a different appearance than the others, inciting inquiry by the team. Bravo walked towards it. He pulls out his canteen, opens it, and pours water over the body. Enough blood is washed away to reveal what remains of a tattoo on the body's upper back. It is the insignia of E5 Pentacle, identifying the corpse as the missing E5 Charlie. The lacerations can be seen to have been precisely struck in order to spell out a single phrase. This is where I died. Alpha forbids further action with the corpse. Echo watches as Bravo backs away from the bodies. As he turns to join his teammates, a thick thorned vine descends from the bough of the willow tree. It quickly ensnares Bravo around his cranium, drawing blood. Bravo drops his canteen and attempts to wrest himself free, but he is pulled sharply upward and out of sight. Splintering bones can be heard over his screen. God, this is really well, really descriptive, and I love it. I hate it. It makes sense that it's so descriptive considering its purpose in universe as like a video log, but still. Ugh. Both sounds are short-lived before the trumpets bellow again. Blood and viscera spill from the treetop. Alpha grabs Echo by the shoulder and the pair retreat. I would really love to see this be turned into a short film. Like, good God, this would be absolutely horrific. The agents run down the street in the direction they came from. Bleeding and screaming can be heard in response to this, though the agents encounter no obstacles. Without the guidance of the twins and due to environmental stressors, the agents make a wrong turn after several minutes. They carry along a side street which leads them toward the town center against their knowledge. At the edge of their perception on all sides, faces can be seen briefly in the fog. They coalesce for but a moment before losing all cohesion, appearing elsewhere. Distant weeping can be heard again. Sobbing becomes laughter. The faces in the mist leer on seen by the agents as they run. Cruel and mocking laughter grows in intensity as the pair progress. Something large stirs underneath, beginning to be free from its shackles. I don't like that. I don't like that. No, I don't like that sentence. I don't like that sentence. Alpha howls with rage, brandishing his arm and fires at nothing. Echo pauses. She begs her squad leader to compose himself and soldier on. He's behaving erratically and refuses to listen to reason. She threatens to leave him behind, yet he does not comply. She runs off on her own. Alpha's shouts and gunshots ring out for the next few minutes over the bleeding and the laughing and the weeping. The trumpets bellow again. All is silent. Echo continues, cutting. Fuck. God, this would literally be sensory overload as a video. Echo continues, cutting through the cul-de-sac and several properties before tripping over something embedded in the ground. She screams. Looking down, it can be seen that she's injured her leg and is bleeding. After a moment, she comes to a stand. Panning around, it becomes clear she has stumbled into a cemetery. She curses thrice under her breath, immediately apologizes, and says a quick prayer. Even characterization for someone who is most certainly dead. This text looks different than the rest. She elbows to the cemetery, occasionally using headstones for support. For her, the outline of a church becomes visible. She circles the building, coming around to the front. The stairs are shakily navigated, and she pushes open the front door, collapsing once within. There is no fog within the structure. The entirety of its interior is able to be envisaged. Echo looks about the church. Everything is in perfect order, in stark contrast to the chaos throughout the town proper. In taking in her surroundings, Echo becomes fixated on the large cross behind the pulpit. The figure nailed to it is moving. She stands and closes distance. It's Alpha. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I'm feeling kind of nauseous. Jesus. His fatigues and equipment are absent. The tunic is wrapped. Okay, so straight up sacrilege. And jeez, that's fun. He coughs as Echo approaches. Blood and nails are expelled from his mouth as he does so. As Echo reaches out towards her squad leader, his eyes open. There is a blinding light coming from them. There is a noise of thunder. The very foundation of the building shakes with this sound, and Echo stumbles backward. She runs for the door, and Alpha bleats behind her. Fuck. Now outside, Echo looks about in a panic. She descends the stairs, rushing to get off the church's property. Rumbling can be heard behind her. Turning, she can see that the nearest graves have collapsed. Hands and fingers grip the edges of the one closest to her. Echo continues as fast as her injury will allow. She nears the street in front of the house of worship and falls to her knees. She tries to stand and finds she is unable. Heavy footsteps become audible. The earth quakes with each step. She cries and begs forgiveness. She begins to pray. Her prayers are interrupted, and she lets out a wet gurgling sound. She looks down, revealing a long-bladed instrument embedded in her side. Her camera feed begins to rise up, up. The ground is lost beneath the shroud of fog. There exists no point of reference within the fog to discern how high the agent is rated before she is turned about to face and behold a massive human figure. It brings her up to meet its gaze, though its eyes are enshrouded in shadow. Its bearded face is gaunt. The agent struggles as the entity brings her closer to its face. The level of proximity reveals that the entirety of its countenance is comprised of countless human... Okay. Ugh. False beast opens its maw. From the depths of its being, a roiling thunder can be heard. The trumpets bellow again. Fucking... Wow. I am genuinely fucking disturbed by that. Okay. Exploration produced by Dr. Panagiotopoulos. Interesting. Panagia. 4. Exorcism. Oh, okay, there's an exorcism thing here. That's fun. Apparently this is an interview and they did try to do this again and stuff and all that and good grief. Okay, so let's see. 14th of April 2014, Dr. Peter McNeil. I wonder what that's a reference to. Yeah, boy. Demonology, oh boy. During a course of operation for Monarchs, the details of which was classified level 4, Agent Grace was exposed to a demonic entity and suffered possession. That makes sense. It's the kind of thing those fuckers do, I guess. I don't know. It has since been determined this accident was due to a failure of the chains to hold what lies beneath. I get it. I'm like breaking chains and shit. Agent was subsequently taken to the Department of Demonology for exorcism, but initial attempts failed in expulsion. Dr. Peter McNeil, a specialist in exorcism via demonic psychology. That's a weird word. That's a weird thing. Zen is authorized to meet with the possessed alone to attempt exorcism via coercion or intimidation. Oh boy. Hello, Agent Grace. You've been fairly quiet since the last attempt. I know you can still hear me. Eyes up. Jim Connor Marcus Jane. Jim Connor Marcus J. I don't know who these are. You are to surrender and vacate this vessel. Same words. There's a Matthew now. Fuck. You repeat those names in a feat of resistance. But you know that it was your own actions that led to their deaths. It was your fault. You must give recompense. You must cease your struggle. Give in. You're a putrid, violent creature. You eke out your existence on the suffering of those you deem lesser. Yet look at yourself now. You're locked deep in this facility. You know you cannot escape. What the fuck? Oh boy. You are locked deep in this facility. You know you cannot escape. You know that you will never achieve your goals, your desires, your hopes. You will die here alone and rotting. Die in the dark, live in the light. Repeated. You are at your mercy. You are at my mercy. You will experience hell for all times that I so choose. You will give in. You're still resisting. You will. You will be punished for that. Will you not rather flee? What refuge I deigned to offer you? Nima Rive. I don't know. Jesus. Okay. You will not be aided. You will not be bullied. You will be reviled. Spare yourself the pain. Amen. Our Father. Oh, okay. I know this thing by heart. Is that really the Lord's Prayer backward? Are you truly so useless, so vile, so pathetic, and so utterly weak that you would resort to such a petty trick as your final defiance? You will fail. Live from us, delivered, but temptation. Oh, okay, again. Um, Such a lover of the Lord, your nature and actions so disgrace, and perhaps you'll know this, Deuteronomy verse 4. 4 verse 4, but all of you held so fast to the finish for me, dear. What is the, I'll be the, yeah, okay. What you're doing will help you, and you're a fool. But you will finish the verse. You are slipping. Lord, you got it still have today. Good girl. See, I tell you the decrees and laws as. I don't understand what this is, but okay. That was a lie. It's interesting. It's neat. Incident timeline, huh? What do you mean incident timeline? Let's just go. Oh boy, there's three. There's three now. That's cool. Incident timeline. The following is the recorded history of all anomalous phenomena relating to Prodigy Priest King since its release. Included are research team's findings of the events prior to Foundation involvement as gleamed through interviews, notable breakthroughs, and claims made by the game's fan community as tracked through Usenet. Usenet, geez, that's old. And phenomena observed by playtesters in a controlled Foundation environment. For ease of reference, subjects shall be color-coded according to the emphatic role ascribed to them by the anomaly. Alpha A, that's just Alpha, Theta, and Omega. Axel Rodemer, age 9, of Loyalton, California, experiences feeling of numbness in his hand throughout the school day. Oh geez, this is 1988. Yeah, this is old. Jesus. He is permitted to rest in the nurse's office for an hour and loses all sensation below the waist by noon. Oh, wrist by noon. Axel is checked out of the school at 12:33 by his mother. While en route to the hospital, Axel's condition improves. The pair travels home, with Axel's mother attributing the condition to the previous night's extended play session. Todd Wilson, age 27, of Dallas, Texas, returns his copy of Project Prince King to the Babbages where he purchased it. Mr. Wilson asserted that once entering the location Labyrinth, all audio cuts off, the silence being punctuated by a prolonged low rumble. That's strange. A replacement copy was provided. D. Hammond, age 12, of Durham, New Hampshire, is spotted standing by the side of the road in front of her home in the pouring rain, fixated on the full moon. Her neighbor ushers her back towards her house and alerts her parents. 30th of November, 1988. Ken Klein, age 18, of Colorado Springs, Colorado, experiences an uncharacteristic severe depressive episode and is only assuaged by the embrace of his father. That's cute. That's triplets Marcus, Michael, and Matthew Cook, age 15, report absent from school. They have locked themselves in their bedroom where they have scrawled a top-down representation of a map on the up to the game's main location, Labyrinth, on the walls. This phrase is carved on the corner of the that phrase again. 1st December 1988, Mary Blevins, 33, of Bristol, Pennsylvania, destroys her son's copy of Prodigy Prince King owing to the latter's single-handed preoccupation with playing it, to the point of soiling himself during play. That's... At around 3, she enters the basement to fetch laundry and falls down the stairs. She suffers a fatal cervical fracture okay. Jeez. Axel Rodemer is unable to get out of bed on account of full body numbness. He is rushed to the emergency room. Leo Rasmussen, age 3, of Idabel, Oklahoma, I'm guessing, seizes and becomes comatose watching his older sibling play the game. He's hospitalized. Alt Binaries Packet PPK Newsgroup is established on Usenet for full information about the game. Several users express frustration in being unable to find the mirror that jeweled the sword. User Trey uploads several photographs of their computer screen showcasing a glitch of the ghoul enemy sprite. This glitch makes the enemy appear much shorter compared to other sprites and gives it blackened skin with flecks of red. Trey claims it can neither be killed nor interacted with, but may block air access to crucial areas of the game, necessitating a reset. 6 other users claim to have experienced the same glitch. Jean-Luc Picard, good grief. Lord. Gina Wilson arrives at her son Todd's home after he misses 2 days of work at the family's shop. She is unable to open his bedroom door and hears a low, blaring, monotone chiptune on the other side. Police arrive at 2:33 and force their way through the barricaded door. They find the mattress propped against the windows and all lights shattered. The only remaining source of light is from the monitor displaying a game over screen. It does not respond to attempts to turn it off, must be unplugged. Todd is not found. That's not good. User Jean-Luc Picard uploads 4 image files to the PPK newsgroup, revealing a hidden tunnel in the southeast corner of Labyrinth. The path therein leads to a small, colorful room resembling a child's bedroom, which is anachronistic to the game's fantasy setting. In one image, Entity A stands in a corner facing a wall. The jewel item representing the prodigy can be found on the nightstand. Oh boy, that's interesting. Several users in the PPK news group that have attained the jewel report the presence of a new enemy encountered in the crypt portion of the game, which is not referenced in the game manual. The dark-robed humanoid flees from the players upon approach. Players find that STB can be attacked if cornered, and if killed, will collapse into a quivering heap on the ground. It regenerates after 3 seconds, which players exploit for easy experience points. Dee Hammond is found by her mother, sitting in the fetal position in the corner of her bedroom, crying and shaking. Twins Sindel and Mandy Shields are discovered in their parents' basement. They are found reciting the song "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star" incessantly. The lyrics are wrong. We're starting to connect dots here. That's neat. Ray Gonzalez, age 24, of Brunswick, New Jersey, is found by police in his home. He's been bludgeoned to death. His okay. Bryce Stephenson, age 6, is rescued from the basement. 4th of December, 1988. A user Triceratop begins a subthread to the PPK newsgroup to discuss their experience with the game, stating that the ghost enemies are vocalizing her name as opposed to default sound bites. Most users respond with skepticism, but one exception, Triple H, who claims to experience the same issue. The parents of Marcus Michael and Matthew Cook invite Father Emmett Clark into their home for counsel regarding their son's erratic behavior. When the priest enters their bedroom alongside the boy's father, Stephen Cook, Mrs. Cook's 911 call is intercepted, and Mobile Task Force Tirfing Black arrives 10 minutes later. They are able to discreetly shift the mass into a mobile containment vehicle for study at Site 99. It spontaneously combusts once placed on the examination table. Father Clark and Mr. Cook survive for several minutes afterward, but before the former expires due to cranial trauma. What the fuck happened? Mr. Cook then grips the edge of the table and pulls, causing the mass to fall to the ground. It lands in such a way as to sever his cervical vertebrae, killing him instantly. I'm noticing a pattern here. A copy of Prodigy Priest King is extracted from the abdomen of either Michael or Matthew Cook. Jesus. Good lord. Ken Klein's speech is rendered near incomprehensible outside of simple phrases, and his motor functions have become impaired. A large tumor is discovered growing behind his parietal globe. I don't care. I pronounced it wrong. 5th of December, 1988. Jeb Swiftwater, age 15, of New York, New York, relates to a psychiatrist a recurring nightmare and accompanying sleep paralysis he's been experiencing over the previous few nights, wherein he expires in a house fire. User Thrick3 denied, I think. So thrice denied, yeah. User thrice denied claims that he had to restart this game, as all text and dialogue have been replaced with the phrase, "This is where I died," inhibiting their ability to solve a puzzle in the cavern. User Trey is the first player to have reached the hedge maze. They claim that the music on this stage is bugged, as it is periodically interrupted by a loud snapping noise. Those must be the chains snapping. Subject D999 retrieves the jewel item. The screen goes blank. Subject convulses and conspires. Conspires? What the fuck? Expires. Upon dissection, malformed organs, heart, left kidney, right lung, are discovered that are not a genetic match of the subject. That is really concerning. Jesus, Mother Christ. That's really not. It's really not kosher. 6 December, 1988. Progress updates from the PPK new group drop off considerably due to the product recall, but a few members retain their copies of the game. User Triceratop is the second player to reach the hedge maze and uploads several images of an indiscernible object up in the night sky. User Trey obtains the sword representing the king. They progress to the final area of the game, but do not communicate with this new what this new area is. The remains of D. Hammond are discovered by Dr. Geffert. The body is preserved under a layer of hot ash. A Sierpinski triangle, interesting, is carved into is charred into the linoleum. That's a triangle, obviously, but it's like a fractal. You've seen it. Cries for upper coming from the test chamber. A doll is found within. It cries when disposed of. Well, that's interesting that they mention this here. An audible snap is heard throughout Site 33. Researcher Amelie, who has overseen the previous night's playtesting, is found to have hanged herself. Okay! Wow! 7th of December, 88. Operatives in Kansas arrive at the home of Sarah Whitaker, Usenet handle Triceratop, to retrieve the second-to-last copy of Prodigy Priest King in civilian possession. Agent Myers suffers third-degree burns in his hands in trying to separate her from the monitor. Whitaker is terminated at the discretion of the team lead. User using information gleaned from the PPK news group, subject D073 reaches hedge maze. Researchers can corroborate claims of audio abnormalities in the presence of entity C above the maze. This humanoid sprite can be seen to be hanged by the neck with a rope extending up into the sky, beyond what can be viewed by the player. D072 refuses to play any further. When prompted to answer why, he weeps in bed when asked for what the hell? Okay. Subject D856 acquires the mirror in his playthrough. Data expunged. Mobile Task Force, See No Evil, arrives on site 30 minutes later to restore order and isolate the creature. Sector 3 is subsequently evacuated and scuttled. No disciplinary action is taken against the researchers and guards involved due to their loss of agency. What? Several are treated for fractures in their metacarpal bones. Samples of the creature's what the fuck? Are sent to Biosite 87 for study. What the fuck happened? The Ethics Committee issues a mandate prohibiting the use of test subjects with a history of okay, that explains it. Jesus. 3 distinct character profiles are formulated for affected persons, each correlating with a different range of anomalous effects. Twins Sindel and Mandy Shields are found dead. Broken chain links are scattered about the vicinity of the bodies. Interesting. Another mention of twins, Sindel and Mandy. Wait a second. Never mind. Subject D009 acquires the sword. He is now able to progress to the final level of the game, titled with a nonsensical assortment of characters and symbols. Sound-canceling headgear is required for the research staff. 8th of December, 88. Subjects D072, D147, and D009 are found to be absent from their respective cells. Sloppy trails of blood and viscera lead across the ground in the direction of the test chambers, terminating at the point where the floor meets the wall. Shattered glass, a case ring, and a shiv, respectively, are discovered in the remains. Axel Rodemer is pronounced dead by Foundation clinicians following a grand mal seizure. Despite the lack of brain activity, his body twitches over the next half hour. It then stands, approaches the attendant doctor, and embraces him. That is not okay. User Trey makes a post detailing what they believe to be the dungeon holding the game's singular boss. Several screenshots are included depicting a darkened, winding staircase with a stone corridor. User Triceratops, Sarah Whitaker, who is fucking dead, responds to this saying, "This is where I died." Yeah, makes sense, you're dead. Ken Klein expires in Site 42's medical bay. Necropsy reveals the brain tumor to be a developing what? Okay. User Trey posts an update to their progress. They claim to have traveled the spiral staircase for 3 hours, and in spotting an irregularity on the inward-facing wall, found they are able to clip their avatar partially through the stone. A screenshot of their findings, data expunged. All testing is subsequently aborted. Efforts are increased to find and identify this user before they can confront the anomaly. The chains have become too few in number to hold it. Blah, blah, blah. Oh no, so scary. 9th of December, 88. Despite never having any form of contact with the anomaly, D-126 begins to regurgitate shards of reflective glass and dies of blood loss. Yeah, you would. You would, wouldn't you? Leo Rasmussen shows the first signs of activity since he fell unconscious. He cries out, hot, 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 too hot, as his body temperature rises above 38 degrees Celsius. He quickly expires. I don't know what this would be in Celsius. The Game Over soundbite plays over the PA systems of 70 individual secure Foundation locations, as well as countless civilian institutions, recreation centers, and shopping districts worldwide. That's concerning. Several dozen ropes manifest over the primary test site. Flight Director Swanson, Task Force Commander Sheridan, and Senior Researcher Ortega are hanged until dead upon attempting escape. The remaining senior staff is similarly killed as the ropes infiltrate the site through various means. Clerical and custodial staff are not targeted. User Trey makes this final post of the PPK news group consisting solely of the phrase, "I found where he died." Chew, oh boy, we're getting close. Oh no. I know what this one is. There's a picture in this one. I remember this. Hmm. Procedure. Initial intake examination to determine the presence of anomaly. Doll is seated on a chair within the test subject. D002 introduced into the environment, instructed to remain still. Oh my god. Description. Temperature within the chamber dropped by 2 degrees Celsius. Doll plays a rendition of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, albeit composed of different lyrics. Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars. Rubbed of Wonder Tour. Okay, that's a bit creepy. Despite the lack of any mechanical components, the object's eyes track D002 as he backs away from it into a corner. Results. Subject suffered from heart palpitations on account of stress induced by the interaction. Oh. Attending medical personnel report a mild unease from viewing him, the reason for which was found to be ineffable. There's a picture in this that is genuinely really unsettling to look at. Results. Subject suffer. I already read that. I think. Did I? Yeah, I did. Per standard test determine potential sapience. The doll is, yeah, obviously, the attempted dialogue. Description. After 002 greets the doll, it responds in kind, calling 002 by his birth name. 002 immediately requests a recess. The item giggles until 002 is extracted from the chamber. Subject's vitals found to be nominal. His eyes were noted to be particularly glassy and dry. Yep. He's turning into a doll. Subject reported that he had trouble blinking. Intent is to determine the identity of the item and discern how long until the chains fail to hold. 002 reintroduced into the chamber equipped with the questionnaire. Cool. Item identifies itself as Cindy. Item refuses to elaborate on its intended or purpose. Instead, the item recounts the crime, which led to 002's incarceration. Faint screaming begins to emanate from within the chamber. Okay, with no identifiable source, steadily growing in volume as the doll elaborates. The screaming suddenly stops, then requests that 002 play with it. 002 does not acquiesce. The doll then questions him regarding Jacqueline Holcroft. Oh. Oh, I don't feel bad about this dude at all then. He becomes adamant that he becomes released from the chamber. Personnel report an implacable feeling of terror upon envisioning 002. A medical examination reveals a 2 mm cyst on the subject's back. The doctors performing the examination is apprehensive toward lacerating his granted personal leave. Purpose of this test is more information on the item and the entity inhabiting it. 002 sits across from the doll. He first pours her a cup of tea, then itself. Nope. As instructed, 002 begins the session by exchanging pleasantries. The pair speak of the weather and of their favorite teas. Several minutes into the conversation, 002 asks how she came to be in her present situation. She merely states that she exists to fulfill a singular purpose and stares pointedly at 002. She then begins an inane tangent regarding the events unfolding in Creche Glen. Test aborted. Oh boy. Subject reported having trouble moving its It's, I don't like that. Volunteer personnel inspected its hands and found them both to have their musculature locked up and fixed in an open-handed grasping position. Furthermore, it became increasingly belligerent upon trying and failing to scratch at the cyst on its back, which had swollen considerably. The decision was made to lacerate it. Alongside a large volume of pus, the subject was found to have a thin, threaded filament hanging from the interior of the cyst. 20 millimeters were extracted before the filament caught and retracted back into 002's back, causing it to screech uncontrollably for its mother. Yeah, he's a doll. He's a doll. Oh no, there's a picture. I don't want to look at it. No. The item. The item. God, I don't like that. It is instructed to promise her foundation support in her mission in exchange for sharing knowledge on precisely what it entailed. It's completely changed. I don't like it. The item is ushered into the chamber, having lost the use of its legs. Once the door is sealed, the item, with great trouble, recites the script prepared by personnel detailing the Foundation's intent and aid. Cindy blushes. She laughs at the idea. Wait a second. Cindy? Sindel? Oh, okay, I don't like that. Last of the item stands from her seat. She approaches the item, staring at it in the eyes, and tells it she already has everything she wants, and requests the waiting security personnel to open the door for her. They comply. Hunter Carter offers to give her a ride home, citing the worry her parents must be feeling, and apologizes profusely. Cindy is taken home to Albright Manor. Just fucking go to the next one. I want to look at that picture. I'm fucking. I don't like this. I got shells all my fucking body right now, man. Wow. Not fun. January 1st, 2001. I wonder why that is. Yogi Bear's Jellystone Park, Quarryville, Pennsylvania. Discoveries. One camper furnished for a family of 4 situated at the campsite. There is no accompanying vehicle. A malnourished border collie laying beside the camper became violent upon collection. A stick. One end skewers 2 marshmallows, the other is smoldering in the fire pit. A rosary belonging to Savannah Grace. A single chain, rusted and near useless. 3 bloodied fingernails discovered by a small stone embedded in the soil. Claw marks are evident in the dirt for half a meter from the direction of the camper. That's the remnants of several charred pieces of paper within the fire pit. Burnt articles of clothing belonging to an adult male found hidden beneath the camper. Tire treads belonging to an unidentified pickup truck or SUV leading away. Okay, now we're in December 14, 1988. Abdi Residence, Kelver. Okay. Tattered woman's nightgown caught in the bushes beneath a second-story bathroom window. Bare footprints, whose placement indicates a slow and steady gait, lead through the mud towards the street. Parallel slashes, rips, and tears in several pieces of furniture throughout the living room. It's just in a state of disarray. An identical pair of marks are scratched in the wall leading from the bottom to the top of the staircase. A flashlight triggered on the on position. The lens is cracked and has run out of bodies. There are three sleeping bags. The first is soiled with urine. The second is torn asunder, with no remaining biological evidence beside a solitary strand of hair. The third is zipped closed around a mound originally thought to be one of the missing persons. Approximately 5 pounds of soil, unidentified. Soil analysis is able to determine has been sourced from Crash Glen. A tire iron located at the bottom of the stairs, adjacent to the living room, in a pool of bile. The door to the master bedroom laying in the hallway. Hinges are warped and destroyed. The restroom within the master bedroom is locked from the inside. A single slip of paper is found to have been inserted beneath the door. It was meant to be read. Was it? Was it now? Single child's toothbrush, its handle bloodied. Blood, viscera, and what is later identified to be intraocular fluid are found in the sink across. Okay. That's the stuff in your eye. Yep. Okay. Cool. November 11th, 2019. Cabin of renowned horror writer Earl Studebaker, Ian, Netherlands. Okay. Single pair of boot prints in the snow, leading from the cabin into the wilderness. The trail ends at a nearby country road. The victim's typewriter. The L key is missing. A several-page manuscript atop the workstation, incinerated by investigators. A loaded handgun lying on the floor beside the victim's chair. Single round has been discharged. The final chapter, spirals. Minute blood traces. Minute traces of blood, bone fragments, and cerebral matter in the vicinity of the workstation. Bundle of towels, soaked in blood and containing a larger bone fragment. Discovered among cleaning supplies hidden beneath the bathroom sink. Victim's trademark Homburg hat was found to have been stolen. Oh, Halloween 2018, apparently. That's neat. The home of Hugh Davies, broadcasting location of horror podcast Witching Hour, Manchester, England. Oh, cool. Fucking Christ. Jesus. That's a bug? Why is there a bug in here? Yeah, you're dead now. Splotches of warm, viscous fluid around a shattered basement window. A cloud of smoke. The lingering scent of burning hair and scorched flesh. Jesus Christ, okay. A cell phone belonging to the guest vlogger. Contained a trigger. Several ounces of ash, concentrated within countless handprints scattered about the floor of the basement studio. Orientation suggests a single point of origin. A newspaper article regarding the disappearance of identical twins. Sindel and Mandy, there they are again. Cindy. Okay, yeah. One digital camera that contained footage recorded immediately after the livestream was corrupted. Contents viewed without sound by a sole operator, since euthanized. Okay then. A wired lapel mic, its entire length covered in saliva. This stuff paints a very disturbing picture. A desiccated husk of inverted human epidermis, the oral cavity is grossly extended. Okay then. Wow. Date 1111. Location Judith Montague Memorial Library, Edinburgh, Wales. Oh, we're in Wales now. Cool. Um, shattered shattered glass discovered about the south-facing bay window. Most fragments were stained with blood. Something small and defenseless originating from. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, right. That's fucking ugh. 11 dead birds, various species, cause of death determined to be from internal bleeding and bruising of the brain from a collision with the structure. Oof. Heavy infestation by Musca domestica. I don't know what that is. Numbering in the hundreds of thousands. Well then. Library cards belonging to the 6 victims indicated book club membership. What 6 victims? 5 books found throughout the reading area, rotten beyond recognition, and each found to contain genetic material from their respective reader. What? Low droning noise emanating from throughout the area, a hymn in an unknown language, a trail of words in cursive script written with an estimated 5 liters. I am pretty sure that's more blood than is one human body, but I'm probably wrong. It begins from the shattered bay window and follows a route toward the book depository across the street. One operative is lost. What the fuck does that mean? November 8th, 1914. Oh, so this is World War One. That, yeah. Allied trenches near Soissons, France, I'm guessing. I don't know. A collapsible spade found at the bottom of a deep 11-meter shaft entrenched alongside the soldiers' held position. 3 dog tags. 2 were warped and identified information was scratched out. A single human eye found in the possession of a rat. A severely damaged copy of Prodigy produced. But that doesn't make sense. This is 1914. Whatever. Spent munitions and empty rifles. The sweep of the area reveals that most rounds were fired into friendly territory. An unopened envelope containing an illegible letter found in the mud beneath the duckboards. They will not be missed. Wow, okay. Fucking got 'em, I guess. I don't know. 1 meter of barbed wire, caked in viscera. The uniform of one of the missing soldiers is tangled with. Jesus. Okay then. 11 teeth belonging to the only identified soldier found at the bottom of the pit coated in soil. A tunnel large enough for a grown man extending from the bottom of the pit and continuing for some several hundred meters. It ends upon meeting a trench in enemy-occupied territory. Several more teeth found at irregular intervals within the tunnel. December 31st, 2011. Tachi Kazuo residence. Okay. Black clouded water in all basins. Samples of the fluid revealed the particulate to be powdered bone material. That's fabulous. Extensive water damage to the room beneath and adjacent to the lavatory. Copious amounts of 1 meter long human hair, black. The sound it makes when we burn each witness in the crematorium. 11 mirrors, 10 are in various rooms within the domicile, shattered. The last, a compact pocket mirror, is found untouched. All clothing and personnel effects belonging to 6 of the 7 missing participants neatly folded and arranged. 100 extinguished candles gathered in the center of the living quarters. 100 extinguished candles gathered in the center of the living quarters. Extinguished candles, 100 gathered in the center. Living quarters, 100 extinguished candles gathered in the center of the quarters. Quarters. candles extinguished, gathered, living. The fuck was that? Okay, it's just them downstairs. Fucking hell, I am on edge, to put it lightly. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take off these fucking headphones and just. Oh no, mate. I'm not okay. I don't want to click this button. I gotta be honest. Don't want to click it. I don't want to click it, you know? So, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stand up and, like, fucking. I don't know. Like, I'll just record this video and I keep recording and then, like, I don't know. Cause, yeah, I'm not fucking doing that shit. This was uncomfy enough as it was. I really don't need to be jump scared on top of it, you know? So, yeah. Just gonna fucking click it and then go away. I'll be back. It's gotta be over by now. I mean, the hell? Wow, I'm a royal pussy. Jesus. It's literally the fucking TV downstairs. Oh my god. Right. Well. Wow. Okay, seriously. Okay, thank you a lot, air conditioner, for giving me a fucking fright. I sure as should appreciate that. Okay, seriously, what the fuck? I'm not. Oh, hello. Well. Fuck. That's the thing. Mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That was a face. I don't like faces, no. Alright, yeah, I'm done being a pussy. I guess now I can get my thoughts on that. Yeah, overall, it's a really well put together, really well written SCP that really gets under your skin if you let it. Which I certainly did, as you could tell by me fucking leaving the room. Like a coward. So-called horror above my fucking ass. But yeah, it was really well written. It was really good at building tension and getting you spooped, spooped or dooper, whooper, shooper. I'm honestly wondering what happened, but I'm just gonna upload the video and I'll find out. So yeah, that'll be fascinating, I suppose. What and all that nonsense. Know what I'm saying?